everyone and welcome back to My Tech Wardrobe. My name is Caitlin, and if you're new here, I try to do fashion videos here and there. I'll do some how-to videos, I'll do some outfit challenges, and that's about it. Maybe more, who knows. Now, I don't think I can fully express my love for Audrey Hepburn, the style icon and the wonderful human being, so I won't really try, but suffice to say I have seen most of her films. I have read so many books about her life, and I know a lot about her in general, and I just thought now was a perfect time to talk about her style on my channel. I wanted to provide my own take on how to dress like Audrey Hepburn that is slightly different than what you may be used to seeing on the internet. A lot of the time, videos like this on how to dress like Audrey Hepburn are really about recreating her exact film looks. I'm talking Roman Holiday, Funny Face, and of course, everyone's favorite, though not many have seen, Breakfast at Tiffany's. Audrey is known for the signature long black dress from Breakfast at Tiffany's. She's known for a very particular type of style in her films, but I want to dive a little bit deeper than that today and actually give you a practical guide about how to dress like Audrey Hepburn, whether or not you have vintage clothes or you can afford Givenchy gowns, which most of us cannot. Ultimately, my goal with this video is to ensure that whatever you currently have in your wardrobe, you can make work to follow the style principles of how Audrey really approached her wardrobe. But for a video as important as this, I wanted to call in an expert in Audrey fashion. So I called my friend Rachel, the owner of Auburn Vintage clothiers, to ask her a little bit more about Audrey's legacy, her style, and how she approached fashion in general.
When we think about the icon that is Audrey, it is simple silhouettes that are carried through the years, that are timeless, that are elegant, that can be dressed up, that can be dressed down. So you can see the little black dress even now being worn with the pearls, but also with a jean jacket. So Audrey could see that these styles would carry on. And I think, to quote her, she said, "Everybody can be Audrey Hepburn. All they need is to flip their hair out, the big sunglasses that you can find everywhere." So it was fashion that women saw on the big screen that they could bring into their own lives. You don't have to wear vintage to look like Audrey. That is how classic her style is. It's just taking that classic fashion, that classic silhouettes, so the A-line skirt or the shift, and making it your own. Audrey is a huge proponent of that. She didn't want people to be her. She was trying to help women find their own style based on a very classic, simple wardrobe. She was just a human being who fell over when she put her pants on, just like the rest of us. So that's what I love about her.
Now, I know that Audrey Hepburn had a 22-inch waist. She was very slim as a result of her time growing up during the Second World War with a lot of food scarcity in the Netherlands. She was just very thin, and I think sometimes there's this assumption that if you don't have a 22-inch waist, you can't wear vintage clothing or you can't emulate Audrey Hepburn's style, which is simply not the case. There are so many ways that you can play to your strengths and your body type, but still emulate her approach to fashion. First is the monochrome, i.e. all black, shirt and pants combo, made famous by her particularly in the film Funny Face from 1958 with Fred Astaire. Now she's got her very famous black turtleneck, black slacks, white socks, and black penny loafers. This is fairly easy to recreate. You don't even necessarily have to have slacks. You could even do this with black jeans if you wanted to. But this is really an experimentation in what black outfit you can create. But having an all black outfit, rather than seeming like you're about to go to a funeral, can actually look very chic and sleek. I've gone for an off-the-shoulder look here, which she often emphasized her beautiful broad shoulders. and nipped in waist. I have my paper bag pants here that I can change up with different shirts, whether they're long sleeve or short sleeve. I've also given you sort of a jeggings jeans version of this look as well that brings in some of those black shoes and socks type of idea, with or without. Because I think ultimately Audrey's big approach to pants in general is that she just wanted to be comfortable, but stylish and put together at the same time, which is often why you saw her wear pants or slacks with a nice belt to sort of nip in her waist. If you want to take the all black style and simply transfer that to monochrome, you could do that as well and sort of rotate turtlenecks and pants, or scoop neck or boat neck tops with your pants as well. Audrey was just all about clean lines and very comfortable silhouettes. So as long as you're following that, you've pretty much got yourself an Audrey wardrobe. And she always was a huge proponent of ballet flats with any outfit because she was actually a trained ballet dancer. So if you have ballet flats at home, or penny loafers, or flats in general that match the color of your pants, that really elongates your leg as well and helps you feel a little bit more put together. Now, early in her career, Audrey was really all about the more structured top and sort of flowy A-line skirt silhouette. She was really following that sort of new look trend from the 1950s, but again, she was able to completely make it her own. I decided to recreate a little bit her outfit from Roman Holiday, which was her first film. I can't imagine Audrey wearing anything with a cat on it or the equivalent of a poodle skirt, but it's what I had, so I started there. I paired it with a white button-up shirt that I've rolled quite significantly at the sleeves and tied up in the middle. I also have a couple of other white shirts that I could use with this outfit as well that would look pretty good. This sort of A-line skirt silhouette with a button-up shirt or a more structured shirt on top is something that you can recreate very easily within your own wardrobe. You don't have to have vintage skirts for this. You don't have to have vintage shirts either. As you can see, this red skirt fits the bill for that as well. I'm tying another shirt on top just to bring in that silhouette a little bit. And these types of A-line skirts are available in a lot of places. So these are a couple of modern skirts that I have that I can still achieve this type of silhouette with. And if you don't have A-line skirts, or skirts aren't your thing in general, what you could do as well is take a dress that you already have and simply put a shirt over top and tie it up as well. Or even close the gap a little bit with a belt, because this is something that you can really utilize your current wardrobe for. You don't have to go out and buy these items. Chances are you may have a lot of them already. So just experiment, try things on, and just do your best to see what might look good. But ultimately, if you want to look like Audrey early on in her career, sort of Roman Holiday-esque, these button-up shirts and more A-line skirts or dresses is definitely the way to go. I've also paired it with a pair of platform sandals because she wears almost a Grecian style gladiator sandal throughout this film. I don't really have a flat version of that, but these are my platforms. If you have any kind of those gladiator style sandals that are flat, those would work too. They're still in style to a certain extent now, so they should be very easy for you to find. This isn't for everyone, but I enjoy tying a cute little vintage scarf around my neck because it just does make me feel a little bit more like Audrey traipsing around the streets of Rome with the handsome Gregory Peck. So again, may not be for everyone, but I enjoy a little bit of a scarf moment. You can find them very inexpensively in thrift stores, or you can even make your own out of a piece of scrap fabric that you have. Upcycling for the win. I also really enjoy looking at the candid shots that either Audrey took for the studios when she was filming something or when she was doing a magazine spread, because those sort of slice of life photos are the way that you can get at her more casual fashion. So in this case, She's just wearing a pair of shorts and she's paired them with some mules and a nice button-up shirt. I mean, the earrings and makeup sort of say she's pretty done up, but because it is a magazine shoot, but you can very easily integrate this into your own wardrobe. So I have a pair of just gray vintage shorts here, but again, this is a silhouette you can pretty much get anywhere. She's paired it with a button-up shirt, a plaid one, so I've tried to sort of recreate that a little bit. There are a lot of options here really that you can work with. So here are some ways that I took that silhouette, that sort of casual Audrey, and created some looks out of my own closet with it. So if you have a pair of shorts and you have a button-up, just try putting those together. I know it may be a little warm in the summertime to be doing so, but if you have a light gauzy shirt like this one, or if you have linen, it is a great way to sort of tie that up. Another Audrey era that I don't see many people talking about in these types of how to dress like Audrey Hepburn videos are her looks from the 60s and into the 70s. She knew how to move with a trend. She was experimental with color, which I think is always really interesting. This going away suit that my great aunt gave me is a good example of the way that she used to use two pieces in her style to really create a very cohesive look. If you had a two-piece with a big pair of really beautiful sunglasses and perhaps a hat, you were pretty much good to go. Now, I understand that not everyone has their great aunt's going away suit, but I think this type of skirt suit silhouette is possible to translate into your everyday wardrobe. Check out my wearing monochrome outfits video for some more inspiration on that front, but essentially all you need to do to emulate Audrey in this period is just look at some matching sets. I mean, there are a lot available nowadays, so definitely check that out if you want to get a little bit of that Audrey glam from the 60s. Another thing she did into the 60s and 70s was embrace denim. I love this image of her from a film that she did in the 60s. And she's got a headband, she's just got a plain red sweater, a belt, and a pair of denim jeans. And granted, this was for a film, but I like to think that I can recreate this look pretty easily at home. So I have a headband, it's a different color, but I have a headband, a red turtleneck, some jeans, and a belt. And I think this just sort of embodies the change in Audrey's looks over time. She got a little bit more casual and a little bit more comfortable over time as well. So you could very easily do this with whatever color turtleneck you have and a very comfortable pair of jeans with a belt. It's really something that is completely doable. And while it doesn't necessarily scream classic Audrey Hepburn iconic style, you're still embodying your wardrobe with that similar type of elegance. One more thing I want to note is the types of silhouettes she went for were typically a almost boat neck or off the shoulder style. You saw this a lot through her gowns and the different formal wear that she wore. She was a little bit self-conscious of her shoulders being what she thought was a little bit more broad and not as sloping like a Southern Belle's, for example. But she really used clothing to emphasize them anyway and to show off her beautiful collarbones. So I like this dress in particular for its neckline and its back, actually, because this is a 60s cocktail dress from Auburn Vintage, actually. And it's not exactly something that Audrey would have worn, but it's a similar silhouette, and I just feel Audrey-esque in it. So this is just to say that you don't actually, again, have to recreate anything exactly. You can try on clothes, particularly vintage clothes, but not necessarily, and think, does this make me feel like Audrey? Does this give me the confidence and the elegance that I'm looking for? And if the answer is yes, it doesn't have to be exact. It can just be whatever makes you feel good. Lastly, just for fun, I wanted to do a little bit of a nod to Breakfast at Tiffany's. The little black dress, or the long black dress, I should say, when she's outside of Tiffany's in that opening shot, is gorgeous, of course. And any black dress really can help you feel the same way. It really goes back to when Coco Chanel made that little black dress a staple of women's wardrobes, basically starting in the 1920s. I always like to think Coco Chanel introduced it and Audrey perfected it. So if you have any kind of black dress in your wardrobe, just see what you can do with accessories to make yourself feel a little more like Audrey. You don't have to get the silhouette exactly. You don't have to get the exact same style. I have a few in my wardrobe, none of which really match up with anything that she wore in that film, but I do like to think wearing a little black dress makes me feel a little bit more like her. But if you're looking for one in particular, it's that sort of high neck, high wide neck style and nipped in at the waist, and then this one actually is straight down. But if you wanted to, you could go for the classic A-line sort of fit and flare as well. And not to leave out one of my favorite looks from Breakfast at Tiffany's, the oversized men's dress shirt plus eye mask. Now, I don't have anything like this again, but I do have this lavender linen tunic dress, which makes me feel a little bit like her in the sense that it's a very similar silhouette. But it's something that works for me and is practical for my summer wardrobe in particular, because I'm not brave enough to just straight up wear a men's shirt as a dress outside. So this sort of tunic style is going to be my alternate. So if you have anything like that, you could also belt it to make it more functional for your daily life or for your silhouette and what you're looking for. But ultimately, you are giving a nod to Audrey in this scenario if you're going to wear that. I did try to bring my little cat, like the cat in the film, and try to bring an eye mask together. It didn't quite. I mean, it just straight up doesn't look the same. Who are we kidding? And I can't finish any discussion on Audrey Hepburn Style without talking about coats. Audrey loved a coat all the way to her earliest work. Even in Funny Face, for example, you see her wearing this very plain but very elegant camel-colored sort of car coat. I have one very similar to that, and I was able to recreate Audrey's pretty much exact look from Funny Face for my Halloween costume this year. It's just something that's very easy to associate with Audrey. So she wore a lot of coats in the 60s and 70s that are pretty iconic now as well. I have a few in my wardrobe that sort of feel similar to the type of things she would normally wear, but of course, no exact match. But ultimately, if you're looking to bring a little bit more of that 60s and 70s Audrey into your wardrobe, invest in a very interesting or colorful coat, or one with a pattern. Just simply one that has an elegant design, that is cut really well, that fits you very well in the shoulders, and it would need to be probably, I would say, at knee length or slightly below to be Audrey-esque. Chances are, though, you already have one of those in your wardrobe. I hope this gave you a look a little bit into Audrey the person and gave you a more comprehensive view of her style, because she was so much more than just the Breakfast at Tiffany's poster that people have on their wall from time to time. She was a humanitarian, she was a genuinely kind and compassionate person, and I can think of no better person to be a style icon. So what's your favorite iconic Audrey look throughout the years? Let me know in the comments or on Instagram, because I want to share my love of Audrey with as many people as possible. I hope this helped you get some ideas or inspiration for how to use the items that you already have in your wardrobe to feel a little bit more like Audrey. Experiment, get in there and just see what you can do, because chances are you already have most of the things you need to feel elegant like Audrey. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to. If you don't, that's fine, but maybe just like this video then. Also, if you click the little bell notification, you will actually know when my videos go live. So even if you're, you know, just going about your day, bing, it's me. That's so stupid. Can emulate a really cleek? Okay, please, someone in the comments compliment my makeup because I don't really do eye makeup very often, and I tried my darndest to replicate her general eye makeup look. So please, validate that hour of time that I spent for something that still kind of looks pretty average.